Welcome to Machine Learning Lesson 5.3. In this video, we're going to explore a really cool feature of JavaScript, which is a web speech API. It will allow us to do speech recognition as well as kind of text-to-speech capabilities to our programs. So let's get to it. So if you Google web speech API, you might see Mozilla as one of your links. I highly suggest if you want to learn more about this to go directly to this source and kind of see what are the different things you can do with speech recognition and speech synthesis. What I have done is I've kind of taken some of that and simplified it a little bit for our example. Okay, so going over to Replit, and the first thing we do is we have a Windows onload to kind of fire off the program once the document has been loaded. The first thing we need to do is we need to acknowledge whether our browser supports speech recognition. So that's what this is doing. This is also acknowledging the fact that different browsers might represent the speech recognition object differently within their application. So we're either going to get speech recognition or we'll get WebKit's speech recognition. If neither of these are available in the browser that we're using, then the result's going to come back as undefined. And that's what this if statement's for. Because if there is no speech recognition, then we could simply give them a little message saying, hey, not supported. But if we do manage to get past this if statement, that means that one of these two values have been set for speech recognition. The appropriate one based on the browser that we're using. So having done that, we can now create another variable to actually instantiate, again, whichever one of these twos was set for speech recognition. I'm going to skip over line 16 right now, and let's kind of go through some of the other things we have to do with the speech recognition. Continuous can be set to true or false depending on what kind of application you're using. By setting it to true, what's happening is that the microphone is going to continually listen to see what you're saying. You can specify the language for the recognition. So you could do, Spanish, English, Italian. You would just have to look up the proper encoding for that language. Interim results, we're going to see a little bit more about this once we get into how do we process the results. And then we simply add an event listener to our speech recognition object. And this event listener looks for an event called results. So as you're speaking to your microphone, this event result is being fired off. So now we need a way to kind of process it. And that's where this comes in, on result. So we've created a function to kind of handle, well, what happens when our microphone, our speech recognition object finally gets a result. So let's open this one now. So what we do is we use a for loop to kind of go through all the results that are being returned from the event. And there's two types of results we're going to get. We're going to get what are called interim results and also a final result. And you'll see the difference when we actually run the program. In some cases, you might be okay with using interim results, results that are not quite completely processed by the speech recognition. And again, might be sufficient for your application. Or you might want to wait till the speech recognition has decided, you know what, I am done analyzing what you said, and here's the final result. So these are the two main things you're looking for. And you can see here, it's using the first element that comes out of these results in transcript. The only difference between interim and the final is that we check, is the speech recognition done, by using the isFinal property of the speech recognition. So I'm going to close this one back up. Just kind of show you, this is pretty much it. Once we've kind of set some of these necessary parameters of the speech recognition object, we can simply just start it. All right, so let's go open this up. And I'm I'm not sure if you saw it within the code. I don't do anything to the web page, and as you can see, it's already firing off. Uh, Everything's being done to the console. So everything that you see in orange is, there we go, I'm gonna stop for a second, is the speech recognition kind of processing things while I'm still talking. So as long as I keep talking, you're going to see orange. It's only once it hears a pause that it's finally going to stop. Did it capture everything? Pretty much. So you can see it's pretty good. And the response rate is also good. So at this point, it really becomes your job to process that text that's being returned from either the interim or the final. Okay. So I'm just going to do a couple more commands, just kind of show you what you can do with this. So for instance, if you wanted to integrate this as part of a video game, you could do go left, go right, go up, and then go down. Or go down. All right, so that's pretty much the speech recognition. I definitely suggest, you got to grab the code, you got to play with it. And, there's things you can adjust for it. If you want to know other options you can do with speech recognition, again, I want to suggest go to Mozilla's website, the documentation, and then you could definitely learn there's other things about grammar that you can add to your speech recognition, maybe alternative results based off what the person's saying. So what I want to shift gears now is to speech synthesis, the ability to have a kind of like text-to-speech capability to your program. Again, if you go through here, they give you some really good examples that you can use, but let me show you a simpler version, kind of watered down to the basics. So for this one, we have, what do we have on the web page? We're going to run it. We have a simple text box and a button that when I click on the button, I execute the speech function. In order to do speech synthesis, text to speech, we really just need two things. Now we could ideally do the same thing here, like we did with the speech recognition. At this point, I'm kind of just assuming that Windows speech synthesis is available, but there may be browsers out there that don't support this. So you probably want to do that as well. Again, I'm taking some shortcuts to kind of get you just right into the code. So if you're using a modern browser, you shouldn't have a problem. So you can see here we are creating a variable called speech synthesis utterance. And that allows us to specify a text to our message. Now, if you look at the tutorial, there's actually another way of doing it. You could have actually done it this way as well. Actually just put the words that you want to say inside of there. But I opted to do it this way, just so that there's flexibility as to where the text that you want to speech comes from. And that's what we're doing here. We're grabbing the value from this text box and then setting it to the text of the message of this speech utterance. And then using the Windows speech synthesis, we simply speak the words. So let's give it a try. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, pretty simple. We could do other things here. Let's do the 2 plus 2 is equal to 4.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
All right, so hopefully you could feel there's a lot of fun you can have with this. I will tell you the first thing that came to mind when I first ran the speech synthesis is that voice. Is there something we can do with that voice? So apparently there is. And if you go through into the speech synthesis, and where is it? Get voices. There is a way to identify different voices that you can get. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole website to kind of show you how it works, but they do provide a nice demo, which, again, I don't want to lay claim to this. This really is just a demo inside my Replit. Let's go ahead and run it. And let's say that good morning again. And actually, let's see what it sounds in Indonesia.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's see what it would sound in French.
Good morning.
Well, I should say in a French accent.
Good morning.
Let's do, I think Dave.
Good morning.
David is that default, as you can see here. Let's pull up, I know there's a female. Here, let's do English female, UK English female.
Good morning.
Okay. So again, that's kind of cool. The fact that you can actually change the voice of your speech synthesizer. The other thing you could also do is you could also change the rate, how fast they, speak. So if we put this up to here.
Good morning.
So notice it's a lot faster. I feel that that's a little unnatural, but if you do maybe like a 1.1, it's a little faster if you feel like she talks too slow.
Good morning.
Or if you feel that they're talking too fast, you could also take it down the other way.
Good morning.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds slow. And then the pitch.
Good morning.
Just changes I guess it's the word pitch, the pitch of their voice, either high pitch or low pitch. Again, I would encourage you to go through the documentation to see how that example works in terms of being able to get the voices and changing the rate in the speech. So let's go back to our presentation and let's see what we've done. So we saw that the Web Speech API is a really cool additional capability offered through JavaScript where we can do recognition of speech as well as the synthesis of speech, text to speech. It's up to you now to kind of envision, possible future applications where your user can simply talk to the computer, and then guess what? The computer can talk back to your user. So hopefully you're excited and enjoy.